May the 4th be with you, but May the 5th, mark your calendars because that will be the official start date for the trial against Braden John Karony, the former CEO of SafeMoon. And there is now new documentation revealed, which looks very damning against him, as well as Thomas Smith and Kyle Nagy. A little later on in the video, I will share with you guys some things I've noticed being posted online by John Karony that looks really suspicious. And I would like to get your opinion on that. I will be sharing my opinion. I do want to talk about the court document stuff first. Right before that, though, I want to share a little bit of information about BTCC. This is a crypto exchange that's been around for 13 years. There's no VPN or KYC needed to get started. In addition, you get access to over 300 different cryptocurrencies. There's leverage up to 500x. You can get bonuses, such as a 10% deposit bonus when you use my referral link in the description down below. And you can get bonuses all the way up to $10,055. So if you want to research this more, or if you're ready to get started, again, you can find that link down in the description below. All right, so the first thing to talk about here is going to be the LPUs for personal benefit, and also shout out thank you to TNG Systems for sharing this documentation online. So here we can see with Kyle Nagy that there's transfers to Thomas Nagy. We have an amount for Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance, which comes out to over $2.2 million. And then you have transfers to personal accounts, Coinbase, there's another $1.4 million, a property in Vero Beach, Florida, $1.1 million, and vehicles, there's a McLaren for $391,000. All in total, we're talking about $5.2 million, technically over that. And then we move on to Thomas Smith. Crypto transfers to Bradley Flaherty. Total crypto transfers to Bradley was over $1.4 million. Transfers to the personal accounts, we've got Binance, there's 3 of them here. There's Bethlehem, New Hampshire property, McLaren 570 GT, and the Binance, the remainder amount. All in total, you're looking at $1.49 million. That's transferred to Binance. And then the total trace personal benefit, almost $3 million. Then we move on to the big boy, Braden John Karony. Transfers to his relatives. You have Jennifer Karony, Bradford, Charles, as well as Grace Hunter. And all in all, we're looking at over $4 million there. And this is really interesting because he did a lawsuit against his own mother. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, he sued his own mother. And then he also had house arrest after this took place. And so the relationship between him and his family is really complicated. His fallout with one of his brothers publicly went online, and with his uncle. A lot of huge drama there, all right? And then we move on to properties. There's Linden, Utah, which is over $2.2 million. Overland Park, Kansas. And then you have North Salt Lake, Utah. And the total for that is over $2.7 million. Vehicles, Audi R8 in the United States, an Audi R8 in the United Kingdom, Tesla Model S, a Jeep Gladiator, and a Ford F550, which comes out to over $900,000. And transfers to personal accounts. You have the America First Federal Credit Union, over $1.2 million there. Citibank, over $800,000. And so that's $2.1 million there. NFTs, another $22,000 plus dollars. All in all, you're looking at $9,931,873. Almost $10 million just for John Karony alone. So you got like 10 million, 15, another 3, so like around $18 million between these 3 individuals. But it gets worse, right? We're going to see other things here. So we go ahead and scroll on down a little bit. You can see right here, transfers of removed liquidity between March 7th and May 15th. This shows you the liquidity removals, which moves over to Kyle Nagy, and then there's distribution from that wallet address to Thomas Smith, Ben Phillips, Hank Wyatt, and other unattributed addresses. And these amounts includes $5.3 million to Ben Phillips, $280,000 to Hank Wyatt, and another $1 million to other unattributed addresses. So an outrageous amount also going to Ben Phillips in addition to these other people. And then you also have this being moved over to Bitmart, SafeMoon contract owner 2 with Thomas Smith. And again, going back over to John Karony. And then we have another image right here, transfers of removed liquidity to and from Bitmart. This was between April and December of 2021. So when this all gets moved over to Bitmart, then it gets moved out to associated with Kyle Nagy's Coinbase account, the Gabe wallet for John Karony, the Devil wallet for John Karony, Coinbase, and Kraken. By the way, I want to point out like the irony here of the Devil wallet for John Karony with some of the other things I'm going to point out here in just a little bit. Oh man, it's off the charts. So then we move on. The Devil wallet, you have that being moved to Bitmart. And so from Bitmart, the liquidity removals, I should say, being moved to Bitmart. From there, we have it going out to the Gabe wallet, to the Devil wallet. They even have the Moondog NFT literally in the court documents here, which is absolutely absurd. And this goes through all the distribution again. You got John Karony, Jennifer Karony, Charles Karony, Thomas Smith, the other wallet addresses. It does not look good. Holly asked the question, the properties, are these properties in John's name? Because I'm pretty sure the property in Utah far exceeded $107,000, or was the property mansion I'm thinking of in SafeMoon's LLC's name? And TNG Systems replied saying, it says there $2.25 million for the Linden, Utah mansion as per the bill of sale we got a hold of. And also, TNG Systems says, so just for clarification, this pack of slides was put together by an IRS agent in a few days who was looking into the SafeMoon fraud. The information in it was largely reported by the Fudders since mid-2021, and certainly through 2022 and beyond, we just didn't have bank statements. So now we've got a lot more information that really looks damning. And so what is John Karony doing? Well, John Karony is posting online that he is innocent. This is a little video. At the very end of it, he promotes his Instagram. So it looks like he took the video from Instagram and then just posted it up here. But he's claiming his innocence. Then you have people like Crypto Knight, and I want to make it very clear, I do not agree with what is being said here. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But I want to make it really clear, my opinion is that there is an outrageous amount of evidence against John Karony that looks very damning. And we'll see how the trial goes. He deserves a fair trial, right? Everyone is entitled to due process in the United States. With that being said, Crypto Knight says, a declaration of innocence from the former SafeMoon CEO, Captain Hodl. I'm not too savvy with the current court proceedings, but my Knight computers are suggesting he is currently on the winning side. Again, I disagree. I don't think that there's evidence here that shows that John Karony is winning. What is it? That John Karony is just saying over and over again that he's innocent? Is that what we're basing this on? Like, the more that John Karony says that he's innocent, are we supposed to believe that? I don't know where this notion is that it looks like John Karony is winning so far. Now, Kryptonite finishes by saying, seems as though the prosecution is continuously failing time and time again. Where? I don't understand where this is coming from. Apparently I'm missing something. I'm not connecting dots here, and that could be a failure on my part. But again, it seems pretty clear what's going on with the documentation and how it traces everything that's being moved. Now, some little things I want to point out to you guys. Little things, but I think that they're big things. And so what I think is going on is that John Karony is trying to paint an image in the court of public opinion to potentially try and sway things more in his favor, right? This guy's been pushed into a corner. We're talking about millions of dollars in this accusation of fraud, right? So one thing you'll notice is that John Karony's profile picture, it's not laser eyes anymore. It doesn't look like a businessman. Instead, what does it look like when he had his time served in the military? And to try and appeal to people that he's a veteran. Here you can also see the background image, which looks like him, his time that he served. He did block out the faces of everyone else that's here. And then you're also going to notice that in the description, it says former intelligence analyst, veteran, First Amendment rights, and then he says Jesus is Lord. I'm a Christian. I have noticed behavior pattern, and I think that a lot of you guys watching this video will know exactly what I'm talking about. There are people that go out and commit horrible atrocities, but they try to mask themselves as not being a horrible individual by wearing a cross necklace and also trying to post scripture online and putting in their bio that they love Jesus Christ and stuff like that. Okay, so if you love Jesus Christ, then you should really try to do the best that you can to follow the word, right? But trying to post this stuff so much as they do, to me, it comes across as they're really trying to send a specific message. Like they're trying too hard, if that makes sense. So here you can see in a post from just 7 hours ago, lo and behold, what do you see in the background, right? On the wall, there's a cross. The person is having their face blocked out. You see John Karony dressed up as a businessman. And again, he's claiming innocence here. But with that subtlety in the background of the cross, it's trying to sort of plant this seed in the viewer's mind, the people that are going to his post, the people that are watching this video, the people that want so desperately to believe that he is true to God, an honest man here. It looks to me like he's trying extremely hard to convey a certain vision or visual of who he is. I still remember him doing so many different behavioral things trying to emulate that of Elon Musk. So this guy really is trying hard to create this impression, it appears, allegedly, right, of what that he's a good guy. So here you guys can see he says, I am innocent, did not commit fraud. And he's saying like he's getting ready for his big day here. Trial starts May 5th in Brooklyn. Keeps claiming that he's innocent. I am innocent, did not commit fraud. This guy is posting again at the end with his promotion of his Instagram account. Now, as far as what this guy thinks is right and what is wrong, I just want to share this as an example. I know, oh my gosh, we're getting into the realm of politics, but you need to understand the mindset of the individual that we're talking about here who's being accused of having stolen nearly $10 million, is saying that he's innocent, while meanwhile trying to promote on his own personal Instagram page lots of different things with scripture, right? So like you guys can see here, and just to give you guys an example of the level of disconnect about what's right and wrong in decision making, here we have John Karony praising RFK Jr., claiming that he is based, and then actually also celebrating the fact that he was appointed as the HHS secretary, the guy who had a literal brainworm. I'm not making this up, had a literal brainworm eat part of his brain and die in his brain. The guy who had a heroin addiction, that believes that vaccines cause autism, believes that 50% of China has, I think it was diabetes, to try and think that this guy, who's not a doctor, is the best choice and will actually make a good impact on the United States as HHS secretary. It's just how can you think that that's the right person for the role? That's like saying that John Karony was the best fit for being the CEO of SafeMoon. Then you go over here, you guys can see, just scrolling up, look at how much he posts different forms of scripture. And then here you guys can see this one's not from John, it's from, was that Zephaniah? And then you have, again, another post here from Mark. You got another one in 2 Corinthians. And again, Psalms. I mean, this guy is just, he's posting so much stuff of scripture on his profile. It's just, it seems like it's trying really, really hard. Really, really hard to try and paint himself out like he's not a bad guy. All right, well, I want to know what you guys think about all this, so share your thoughts with us down in the comments below. That's what I got for you on the latest update. This court trial could have a lot of things hitting us real fast. I will try to do the best I can to keep you guys updated on things, hopefully without making it too boring. But it is going to be court stuff. It might end up being kind of boring, but I'll do the best that I can for you guys. All right. And again, you can find that link to BTCC down in the description below. Feel free to check that out. And also, I'm over on Blue Sky. I've got 34 followers now. I'm trying to get to 40. I'm at Crypto Atlas. If you guys would like to show your support, it'd be greatly appreciated. Drop me a follow. You can find the link to that down in the description as well. And thank you so much for the Patreon supporters on my channel, as well as my YouTube members. You guys absolutely rocking it. I really appreciate it so much. God bless. We'll see you in the next video.